Okay, we would like to put everyone in a police officer's shoes and picture that you and your partner are chasing an armed and dangerous suspect in a foot chase. Now your partner, male or female, wouldn't you want them to be qualified to be a police officer to the same extent as you? Let's say they passed an easier physical fitness test, and now during this pursuit they can't keep up, or fences are being hopped and they can't keep up, then you go on by yourself. You get wounded or maybe even shot, God forbid, but that situation may have been avoided if you had backup and your partner was there. The real question is, would you put your life in the hands of an underqualified partner? We're discussing physical fitness tests for men and women. This is important because cops play a huge role in our lives. It's necessary for you guys to realize that all cops, male or female, should be held to the same standards for our own well-being and the well-being of the community. We got our information directly from a Pennsylvania Police Department commissioner, useful web pages such as policehow.org, and journalists from the Associated Press, a news agency in New York City. 3 actual topics we would like to discuss to persuade you that physical fitness tests should be the same for men and women are equality, safety, and capabilities of women. Now to start off with equality, we'd like to talk about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. According to policefoundation.org, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 says, police departments were required to hire and assign women to jobs, including patrol, on an equal basis with men. Now, we can't get this twisted that police departments should do whatever it takes to make sure that men and women are hired equally no matter what. If a physical fitness test is easier for a woman, that's not necessarily hiring the men on the same equal basis with women, if you think about it. Which brings me to another point about equality, the salary and benefits that police officers obtain through their job. Male and female officers, they do the same job, so they get the same salary. According to Indeed.com, Buffalo law enforcement police officers, they get $56,000 a year. Police officers, they also get benefits like medical and dental coverage, and holiday bonus pay, and many others. We got that from policehow.com. All tests to obtain the same salary, equal benefits, equal tests should have to be done to obtain all these equal things. No one should be able to go through an easier process. It just simply isn't fair. Now that I told you discuss equality, the equality aspect, Scott will discuss safety.
Lowering physical requirements creates danger. This job requires a lot of physical activity, such as running when you got to try and catch a perp. You need to be able to have quick hands to draw your gun. You need to react in the right mental, when you're in that certain situation. As quoted from Kimberly Garrison from Featherman.com, if any fitness standards should be raised, the fitness standards should be raised, but certainly not lowered. Lowering the standard would be a disservice to us all. It's a disservice because lowering standards put less qualified police officers on the job, and doing that will instill a lot of fear, maybe from the public, or it could create dangerous situations if not handled correctly. Job descriptions of a police officer is to maintain law and order, protect members of the public and their property, prevent crime and reduce fear of crime in the community, as well as improve the quality of life for all the citizens. Male and female male or female, all cops have to fulfill the same job description. Therefore, they should pass the same exact test, whether they're male, female, or even perhaps a third gender. It doesn't matter. They're still going to be doing the same job, so they should be able to do the same thing. As I've just come up to the conclusion of that, Elders will talk about the capabilities of women.
Okay. After talking to a bunch of his fellow police officers who happen to be women, the commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police Department, Frank Noonan, was quoted with saying that they do not want separate standards for this job because it would make them second-class troopers. He means this by that it would be an insult to the current troopers who have already passed this test and have proven that women don't need an easier test, that they have already passed it, and by doing this, it kind of gives them the perception that you're looking at women and men cops differently, when at the same time, if they pass the same test, and they're capable of doing the same exact thing. He was also quoted with saying, "This is not an impossible task. We're not looking for Olympic athletes here." He says this because at the same time where someone might bring up that in general women might be weaker than the average man, this isn't a bodybuilding test or an Olympic type test. It's just a physical test that we're trying to bring to bring up the best possible officers for our streets. For instance, where I'm from, Nassau County, the fitness test for males is in order to do 29 push-ups, 38 sit-ups, and a 12.5-minute mile and a half. If I asked around the room how many women think they can do 29 push-ups after months of training in order to do the job that they will eventually do for the rest of their lives, I believe that most of you would agree that you could do that. There's no denying that there's women throughout this country that can pass that test, and they don't need an easier way out. Again, if given months of physical training, this test can easily be done. In conclusion, equality, safety, capabilities of women were the three topics that we used to persuade you that police fitness tests should be the same for men and women.
Stop. Don't finish your conclusion. That stayed for the end of this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was there. Yeah.
Okay, good. Hold on just a second. I need a timer person. Is there somebody who will time for us? Can you volunteer? We'll give you a sheet to follow along with. No volunteers? Don, you look like you want to volunteer.
Nobody else? I'll be,
Can you do it? They just finished their opening and their body for the Prime Minister. So you have this arm now. They will start with the opening. They'll give you the 3-minute sign when you get your opening done, and then he'll hit the table for the end of your body and say, stop. Okay? And then the rest of the ones. Do you feel comfortable, John? You need a phone? You get one?
Well, it's also dependent on each person. So, however, what do you think you're best trying to take a class or something like that?
we're going to go over here.
Okay.
Professor King, Professor Anderson, what were the signatures again?
Yeah, just give them the number if they're done with the time that's contiguous with another one of their times.
One time's up and hand will raise.
There's two groups of times, right? So the opposition has their body and they have their intro. So at the end of their intro, just let them know it's 3 minutes. You don't have to bang, just let them know 3 minutes. And then at the end of their body, then you need to let them know to stop.
Okay.
So bang and hold up your fist at the end of it. And then at the end of every section after that, bang and hold up your fist, because every section after that they stop. until you get to the end. I get the assistant.
Yeah, I think I did, long as.
Yeah. Down here, we're gonna have the two together, the opposition.
Oh wait, I got storage I gotta see.
Just giving them time to think.
I know it's not good.
Okay, so that's what you'll do, and then when you get to these, you'll just, okay? Most of them you'll bring to the table except the ones that are.
Whose side do you include? Whose side do you lean on?
Is the test already the same?
All right. Okay, are we ready?
Since they went all three at once, are we supposed to do that too now, or?
Yes, you have your two sections now. You have, just like they did, your opening and your body, but not your conclusion. They didn't do their conclusion, I stopped them.
Oh, okay.
So opening body, they go again, then we rebuttal, then they conclude, we conclude?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's two rebuttal sections in there, but yeah,
Bill, all right.
each of you gets two rebuttal sections. Okay? All right, are we ready over there, John? You guys ready? Okay. Opposition, give us your arguments.
We actually kind of agree with a lot of what they say. We don't think the women should be tested lower because they should be tested higher, actually. They have, their physiological body build is at disadvantage already for men, unfortunately for them. And they have to prove themselves better. And the men, for the New York State Troopers, this is just one specific example, the age group 20 to 29, the men have to do 5 more push-ups, or 5 more sit-ups, almost twice as many push-ups, and there's over a 2-minute difference in the 1.5-mile run, where the women are already at a disadvantage, so their standards are already set way lower. They should have to improve themselves even more, just because 75%, according to 75.6% of all violent criminals, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, are males. So realistically, they're going to be encountered with men who are bigger, possibly stronger. Not going to make generalizations. There's probably some women in this campus that are a lot stronger than any of us up here. And they just have to work harder to prove that and make up for the difference, because they are disadvantaged statistically. They currently have lower standards. They're still going to have to take down a man, and they are doing the same job, just like they pointed out. It's the same exact job. And according to the Michael G. Connor doctorate group, men usually have greater upper body strength, build muscle easier, have thicker skin, bruise less easily, and have a lower threshold of awareness of injuries to their extremities. Men are essentially built for physical confrontation and use of force, which again is why men are generally more violent in their crimes. And so if a woman is going to be combating someone that has all these advantages over them, they're going to have to be able to overpower them that much easier than a man already could. Men are 50% stronger than women in brute strength, according to Dr. James Dobson. So again, they're going to have to work harder to be better than those criminals. They're going to have to train harder to gain higher scores on tests of muscular strength and endurance, and just to barely eliminate the sex differences, according to Romeo Vitelli, who's also a doctorate. And they're starting out lower, and to get up to the same level, if not better than the men in their academy, they're going to have to work harder. And they should have to be able to prove themselves, because you're a smaller person, smaller frame, thinner, you're more easily hurt, according to studies, then you're going to have to just be able to prove yourself as more strong, more capable. And also, the reason why men are generally generally more